Yo, it's S Bruce, check. So today I'm going to be going over basic ways to deal with projectiles. I know a lot of people have been struggling with this, myself included, but after playing the game for like 3 weeks now straight, I've found some ways to combat projectiles, some basic ways. So one, I think having platforms is actually really good because it gives you another thing to avoid projectiles. Now, FD is not that bad of an option either, but I do personally think platforms are good because you get to mix up where you're going even more. With no platforms, it makes it so they can read you very, very easily. Like, there's no other place you're going. They know there's nowhere else for you to run. You know, platforms give you a place to run, mix up your timings on things. It gives you a lot more mix-ups with platforms. That's like the number one thing. Having a reflector is also very, very powerful. If you're Wolf, Falco, Fox, especially, you have a big that helps you a lot. You don't have to parry as much or do these other complicated things. You can hold your reflector, and then they have to kind of respect it. Then they have to play the mind game, of course, but it gives them something to respect instead of just chucking projectiles at you. And the main thing, so before we get even further into it, the main thing about projectiles right now is that it's really hard to parry them. Not everyone is good at parrying yet. Everyone's struggling with parrying at the moment. I don't think it'll come as easy as power shielding did in the other previous games, because you have to let go of shield. You're not even just like, it's not like you're pressing a button, you know? So that makes it really hard. If you have a solid projectile like Wolf's Laser, that also helps. So if you have like an active, if you can fight fire with fire really well, that also helps. But that's not really dealing with the projectile, but that's just something that will help you, give you space and time to think in neutral as you're trying to deal with the other projectiles. Okay, so something that most projectile characters have trouble with is if you get inside them. So let's say you enter their space and you're hitting them. That's when they have a lot of trouble, because they have no time to pull out a bomb or throw something. They have to actually box, and usually their boxing tools aren't as great as their zoning tools, of course. So if you get inside of the character, you got to try to stay inside of them as long as possible. You have to try to stay deep in there as long as you can, because if you let them go, they're just going to set back up, and then it's going to be really hard for you to get back in there. You got to take that hit as far as you can without overextending, but as far as you possibly can. When you get in there, make sure you stay in there. That's a big one. Having a sword is very good against projectiles. So swords can cut through a lot of stuff. Like they can cut through certain projectiles. It gives you space to work with. So even if you're watching Nico, like, he can attack him from certain spaces that like not a lot of other characters can, if they have to fight up close or something, or if they have to get in close. Nico can space himself correctly to where he doesn't have to be all the way close to him to fight him. It's really powerful. Having a sword, I think, is really, really, really powerful against a lot of projectiles being thrown out. Simply just because you can space yourself far away, you don't have to get that close. But it's still even hard for Nico as you're watching. Now, punishing out of shield is really important. So like, let's say they're throwing a boomerang, right? If you know when they're gonna throw, their timings on throwing a boomerang, if you get close enough, you can shield it and then fair out of shield if you have a fast fair, or you can bear out of shield if you have a fast bear and you're turned around. Things like that. Maybe grab if you're close enough, but most of the time you're gonna fair, nair, or bear out of shield. You need to know which ones your character can do. It's very different. It's all character specific in that case, but it's possible, right? So I have some clips I'll show you guys at the end of some of these things I'm talking about. Attacking through moves. So sometimes even when Toon Link or Young Link, let's say they throw a boomerang, if you do, like, let's say Lucina's fair at the right time, you can fair through the boomerang alone. You can just fare through it, and if you're close enough, you'll hit them. But alone, you can just fare through it. So you can attack through these moves. You can test this yourself too. You can like jab through one sometimes. It just depends on the situation at hand. But you can attack through certain projectiles like boomerangs and such. I think even missiles. I'm pretty sure you can attack through like missiles sometimes, depending on how strong they are. I haven't done too much testing with like shadow balls and stuff. Every projectile has different priorities, so you'd have to do your own research on that. But the fact still remains that you can attack through, like, especially weaker projectiles like boomerang, arrows, stuff like that. Even bombs, you can attack through bombs if you do it at the right spacing with a sword. So next is attacking perfectly around moves. Now let's say that so for instance, when Zan is throwing a boomerang, if Nico knows he's gonna throw a boomerang, he can put the sword at a certain spacing and still hit him. So like I'm hoping maybe he'll do it. But right there, you seen he shielded he shielded the boomerang and then attacked him out of shield because he read that he's gonna throw it. Those are really good tactics to deal with projectiles because they're very, very strong. So if you can learn how to attack around moves, it'll help you significantly in these battles. Sometimes you won't feel as lost. But this takes time and practice of learning how each character throws their projectiles, where they like to throw them, when they like to pull them. If you know like Toon Link is gonna pull a bomb or Young Link's gonna pull a bomb, you can attack him as he's doing it, right? Or Peach pulling a turnip. If you have a fast enough dash attack, or if you know the time they're gonna be in there, you get there right on time and punish them. These small little tactics, like knowing these timings, will really help you. And this is the most basic. These are the most basic things, basic ways to deal with this stuff. So I'm gonna go through a rerun of things, and I'm gonna show you a couple of clips on how to deal with some of this stuff. So here, I'll show you starting with, let's see this here. Let's see what this is. So right here, if you notice, I noticed that he's done this. So he's pulled a bomb, thrown it, and then pulled another one. So I knew, okay, he's gonna pull another one. I jump in, I grab him. He literally is in lag. He has no time to do anything else, and grab him, and I get a grab for it because I knew the timing that he was gonna pull out the bomb. So that's not only jumping around the projectile, but also knowing the timing that he's gonna pull something out. What's another tactic? Let's say another thing you can do to deal with these. So on here, so this is what I was talking about earlier when I was saying jumping around projectiles. So first, shield the first thing, the bomb, and he goes to throw a boomerang, and he was cornered, so I knew that I could jump in right there and just punish him. Got 31%. It's not bad, right? So if you know where they're gonna throw something out, you can jump around it and use your move to counteract it. What is the next thing? Here is where I attack through the boomerang and still hit him. So if you have a strong enough move, like I'm pretty sure that went through boomerang and still hit him, because usually it'll just clank if your move is not strong enough. But I think Bowser's foot is just, his dash attack's just strong enough to where it goes through the boomerang and still hits him. So you're gonna have to learn the priority on your moves to get around stuff. Also, see, I showed you this earlier, right? So when you shield and you're right in front of their face, you can jump out of shield. One of the fastest options in the game, out of shield. One of the fastest options out of shield is jumping and fairing, naring, or bearing, depending on which one you have to do. And you can hit him. Next, we have, so you can catch you can literally catch the bomb as he's throwing it. So if he's throwing a bomb at you in your face, you can catch it and attack him at the same time. Now, this doesn't work for everyone. King K. Rool, you can't catch his crown while he's throwing the crown. You have to hit King K. Rool either at the startup or at the end lag of his crown throw to actually hit him in that animation at all. So it's different. But with bombs, you can catch it as he's throwing it out. Maybe bananas too, Diddy Kong banana, you know, those type of projectiles. Yo, it's S Bruce, check. Oh, okay. And that's not. Okay. And that's it. That's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you have anything you want to tell me in the comments, let me know. If you notice anything that you can do against projectiles that I missed, any basic things, let me know. Basic tactics to deal with projectiles, let me know. I'm down to learn something too. So please let me know. Like and subscribe if you like the video. Thank you.